days, and hopefully it keeps with me for the next 2. I've probably been pretty good all around. I haven't really hit any wild ones off the tee. I've kept it, even the bad ones have been in play, and I've just holed out, with the putter really well. Other than that last hole, everything, I've sort of holed a lot of good putts and a lot of little pass overs there that have been pretty gnarly. So it's all round been pretty solid though.
I know it's only 2 rounds in, but what actually would this mean to you? A win here?
Geez, you're asking questions I haven't even thought about the answer to. I think it's everyone's dream to win their home open, isn't it? But I'm very aware of, especially one player teeing off this afternoon, who I've got to beat him first, and there's also 154 other players I have to beat first as well. So it was the same process going in tomorrow. I know that's so cliche, but I haven't even thought ahead to the prize giving ceremony on Sunday yet.
Questions from the floor, please.
Lucas, I think you held a share of the league last year Rd2. Did you learn anything from that experience about how to go forward from here?
It was really good. Every time you're obviously up near the lead, you learn so much, and it was good. I think more mentally than anything, because by Sunday afternoon I was wrecked, because I was in the lead from 9 holes in Thursday morning to Sunday afternoon. It takes so much out of you to be there. So I learned a lot off that. I don't need to waste a lot of energy thinking about it. And like I said, it's going to be a very positive experience for me going into this weekend with how to deal with it, and even going forward too into bigger events, of how to deal with being up near that lead.
Lucas, we saw you last week, obviously, with Bruce. You were remarkably upbeat about finishing second under circumstances like Jason playing in this room. Talk a little bit about momentum and what you took away from last week, coming here this week down the field.
Like you said, I was stoked. Jason had probably one of the best rounds of golf I've ever seen on that Sunday. And I think there was a putt that I missed on 13 that I kind of went, right, it's going to be pretty hard to do from here. So to finish 18 under around that course, it was playing pretty firm, and it got windy on the weekend, and I really didn't feel like I played that good all week. I just hold a lot of putts. So I was like, wow, how good is that? We've finished 18 under, ran second in a tier 1 event, and I really didn't have my A game all week. So that was a massive positive to take into this week. And I got my coach down for a couple of days to iron out some kinks that were in there, and it kind of felt like Tuesday. I was like, right, it feels pretty close. It's not there right now, but it feels pretty close. And I think I warmed up this morning, and it felt really good. And I was like, I hope this sticks around for not only today but the next 3 days, because that was like, it just felt so good coming off the range this morning.
Lucas, we all saw how hard it was to score yesterday afternoon. What did it do for you when you walked off the final hole yesterday for what was your mindset knowing how good the conditions were and what was it like?
Massive confidence booster again. Really windy and tough. There was some tough pins out there yesterday afternoon, and with the wind it made things pretty hard. I made 2 bogeys from 3 putts, so pretty confidence building to know that I didn't hit any wayward ones that cost me a double. It was really solid. Just a couple of bad putts cost me bogeys, and then the same thing again today. Obviously, bogey the last. I'm not hitting wayward shots and taking bogeys from that. I'm being pretty solid around the green. But yesterday afternoon was tough. I was talking to guys that shot even this morning, and they're like, we played well, and I'm like, yeah, well, so did I. It was
long. Here you are. But I watched you a bit last week. It seems to me like you're becoming a more and more smarter golfer all the time. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, absolutely. Last 12 months, I've obviously been able to. I had no problems with how far I hit it. It's kind of just controlling that down. So everything I've worked on this year has just been hitting, not other than a driver, hitting everything to the number every single time. You see some guys out here that they don't necessarily hit it long off the tee, but they still score. Like Matt Miller seems to finish top 10 every week, and the guy I'm hitting it 60 yards past him, does my head in. So if I've got that distance off the tee and that advantage there, well, I want to have as good a game, as him or those other guys that are around that length. And yeah, I think it's gotten a hell of a lot better in the last 12 months, especially I think back to some of the shots I hit at Royal Sydney last year. It's got a hell of a lot better, but it still has so far to go as well. So yeah, definitely trying to be a smarter golfer. Obviously chipping out on 18 there, that was pretty hard to do. I don't really take layups too easily, and it's hard to talk me into them, but managed to get talked into laying up there.
That's pretty much what I was going to ask you. So with Dom and Jamie, with that disparity you've got every shot in the book. How have you parked them? Because you're playing so much more consistently now.
Geez, that's a tough question. I mean, just that self-belief. Finished pretty high up last year in the Aussie Open. Like I can play well, and I'm proving that to myself. I can play well in these big events against these big players. And I've seen Jordan on the range and on the putting green this morning, and it's like, oh, he's just another guy. Like he's not this big thing that, this big idol. He's just another guy out there. So I'm kind of obviously trying to feel more like that, and I'm feeling like I belong out there, which is the big thing. But just a lot of stuff mentally with Jamie, like you said. It's just trying to be really consistent, not put more expectation or more focus on any shot. Any one particular shot, it's the same focus from that first tee shot to that last putt, and whether it's a 20-footer for double or a 3-footer for eagle, it means the same thing. So yeah, just trying to stay consistent, I guess, in that respect.
Referencing the Australian Open specifically, you've been probably one of, if not the most consistent players since probably the Queensland Open last year.
I think I actually thought about it earlier this week. I think I led the Queensland, New South Wales, Victorian and Aussie Open all in the last 18 months at some point during the tournament. Which has been, I think, once I turned pro and I was kind of out on my own, started to work things out a little bit more for myself. I wasn't kind of handed everything, and that really doesn't work for me. I like to kind of work out for myself, right? Why does that work for me, and what's the best way for it to work for me? And I kind of did that, and then put in some really good work in that sort of probably the 6 months before that Queensland Open, and then I've just tried to really stay on top of it since then, and feel like, it's my job. Like, you feel like you put in a 40-hour week, and that doesn't necessarily mean you got to beat balls for 40 hours. Something like 3 hours of grinding down clubs is 3 hours of work. So just trying to feel like I take it more as a job and take more responsibility for everything I do.
Anthony?
Lucas, you mentioned to Mark some of the positives that we've experienced in professional. What's been some of the challenges as well? Challenges, you said?
Money. Haven't got much of that. Although after last week I'm alright, but as an amateur, you stand there on that first tee and you're like, you could hit it in a 5-yard slot, and then you stand up there as a pro and now it's for your living, and you're like, please hit the ball, please make contact and don't be a YouTube hit. Once money's involved, that's a massive challenge, and I was really struggling on the Fridays of tournaments because I knew that was cut day, and it was like be 3 inside a cut line and be worried about that, not worried about trying to make 3 more birdies and get up near the lead. So the money was a big one, and it's kind of always going to be there. If you obviously made some last week, so it's pressure's off a bit this week. But when the bank balance is getting down, and before last week I was like, man, my expenses for the rest of the year are probably weighing up to more than what I've got. And that starts. Fridays start getting pretty nervous then. I'm trying to think what else. I think probably, I think for most guys, working out who's in your team and who's there for the right reasons. A lot of times, especially friends, like, I'll go and look at my phone in 10 minutes time and there'll be 50 messages on there, and they're all like, 45 of them are from people that you don't hear from until you start playing well and they see you on TV. So, it's finding the guys and the team around you that, they message you when you've just finished, 4th last in the tournament, and you just want to go out and drink every single beverage in the vicinity of the town you're in. they're the guys that that probably you want to be keeping around and working out who those guys are, and make sure they know that they want to be kept around.
Just a follow-up question, please. Was it tougher than what you anticipated at the end of the ranks?
Oh, absolutely. I think leaving the amateur ranks, and I think even some of the guys that come through, there's this little bit of, you see guys like Curtis and Ryan Ruffles getting invites on tour, flying in private jets everywhere, staying in 5-star hotels, and you think that's what you're going to get, and then you turn pro and you're so horribly mistaken. You're like, I'm playing a pro-am for how much again? And it's such a sudden realisation of, I was laughing at these guys for going to play in a pro-am, and now I can see okay, yeah, that's pretty important, and I actually need to go and do that as well.
There's usually a crazy story with the Australian Open, slipping in the tail one year, and last year got really hot. Was there one this year, or was it the absence of the crazy story that's got you?
I actually thought about that. I was like, geez, this is the first year I've been able to plan for an Aussie Open week where I've not been thinking I'm going to have to Monday qualify or I've got to play my way in here. No crazy stories that I can think of. Stayed in Sydney for the last 2 weeks, didn't fly back to any weddings. She's pretty safe one this year, I think.
Well, just to go back to what you were talking about the players, Ryan and Curtis going up on that, that's one way, that's fantastic. Is there a sense of achievement to earn your way in professional golf with what you're doing? And is that valuable in a way? Does it convert into shots and performance perhaps?
Yeah, for sure. I haven't really spoken to Ryan or Curtis about it, but I always felt like if I played off an invite, you were like, I'm kind of only here because I know the right people, or someone likes me. You don't once you this week, where I've obviously from last year played my way in off the order of merit. I really felt like I earned this start, and I did the hard work to earn this start, and I deserve to be here as much as anyone else. And yes, like anything, I made money from the end of last year, and I went and bought TV and I went and bought a couch, and I was like, man, I earned that. I practiced hard and I earned that, and you feel really good about even the little things. Go out for breakfast, I earned this. Definitely massively gratifying to know that you earned everything along the way.
Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you.
It's kind of going to depend a little bit on how I go in the next couple of weeks. Set a bit of a goal on 2 top 5s in these 3, so I ticked off one last week. So yeah, it's a bit up in the air at the moment. I went to Canada this year, and as much as I actually didn't play any events, I went to Q school, didn't have any joy, and tried a Monday, didn't do any good. But actually, I enjoyed it up there. So I would go there again. Probably plan it and do it a little differently this year. Maybe try and go to a Q school off the back of, I think New Zealand. I had 6 weeks off, and it's a lot easier to play well when you're kind of on the run in events. It's second week here. You feel like, and I think Jeff said it in his press conference. You play 4, you have 1 off. Everything kind of blends into each other, and that's what you want. You don't want first tee nerves and thinking about. I think you think about it too much when you're playing just 1 off events. So. Maybe Canada. Got people trying to talk me into China. I've got people trying to talk me into Asian tour. So maybe finish these next couple of events, reassess everything.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And
thanks, guys.
Lucas. Hope to see you tomorrow.
No worries, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, mate.
No worries, thank you.
Well played today, mate.